Greetings. My name is Eunice Elliott Jefferson. I am the current president of the Mohawk Valley Frontiers. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the 38th annual Dr. Martin Luther King event that has gone virtual for the second year in a row. We take great pride in providing our community partners, sponsors, and supporters in the Mohawk Valley the best service our organization can provide through community service and various partnerships. As service is our motto, the work we do would not be possible without the investment of the community of the Mohawk Valley. We strive to continue to make a difference in the lives of the communities and the families that we work with. In the work, we continuously empower our youth and our support for our elderly within the same community into which we serve. This year has been a challenging and tumultuous year with our pandemic still moving forward full steam ahead. We must still find ourselves creating a way to lend a hand and also check in on our neighbors. I'd like to use this opportunity also to thank each and every member of the Mohawk Valley Frontiers and its committed members of this organization that are committed to service within their community and always responding to the call. Thank you, and we're looking forward to a nice event. Mohawk Valley Frontiers Club is proud to be selected as a recipient of Excelix Blue Cross Blue Shield's 2021 Health Equity Awards. Funding will support Paths to a Healthier Me, a program focused on strengthening the mental, emotional, and physical well-being of students in communities of colors. Excelix Blue Cross Blue Shield's Health Equity Awards help fund programs that address the racial and ethnic health disparities within our region and further the organization's commitment to inclusion, diversity, equity, and access.
Hello, everyone. My name is James Paul, and I'm co-director of the Utica chapter of the Junior Frontiers of the Mohawk Valley, and I will be your master of ceremony for the day. I'd like to thank you for attending the 2022 Martin Luther King Day celebration hosted by the Frontiers of the Mohawk Valley. This is a day that holds special meaning in our community. It celebrates the life and legacy of Dr. King and lets us know that though we've come a long way, we can't stop until we reach the mountaintop. I would like to introduce to you my wife and fellow co-director, Ms. Olivia Paul, who will bring to you the invocation.
Good afternoon, everyone. May we bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, God of all creation, we bow before you this day in thanksgiving for allowing us to participate in this occasion and in remembrance of your faithful servant, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. We thank you for his time among us. We thank you for his leadership and vision in the struggle for justice and peace for all human beings. Help us, Lord, to stand in brother and sisterhood that transcends race or color as Dr. King hoped and envisioned. Help us listen with our hearts to his words. Give us faith to continue to tear down walls that separate us. Help us to walk together and live together in a way that is pleasing in your sight. Give us the intelligence to know your will. Give us the courage to do your will. Give us the devotion to love your will. Most gracious and all-wise Father, we thank you for all your good and gracious gifts, and most importantly, life. God, we ask that you bless Frontiers International and the Mohawk Valley Frontiers Club. This program, its presenters, speakers, award recipients, sponsors, supporters, and all who have joined us this afternoon, as well as those who desire to participate but could not be with us. Lastly, God, with all that is happening throughout the world, we ask that you be with us in our going out and our coming in our rising up and in our lying down, and in our moments of joy and in our moments of sorrow. We pray these and all blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
I would like to introduce to you the president of the Junior Frontiers Utica chapter, Ms. Adriana Cieslak.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad we are able to get together and coordinate this event despite the adversities facing us at this time. I am Adriana Cieslak, currently president of the Mohawk Valley Junior Frontiers, and I am honored to welcome you to the 43rd annual Dr. King Jr. event. As a senior attending Thomas R. Proctor High School, I have been with the Junior Frontiers for 5 years. My sister also went through the program 4 years ago, and she was the one who encouraged me to join. The Junior Frontiers has helped me grow into the person I am before you. By strengthening my self-image with positive affirmations and instilling efficient habits, I've developed a sense of identity and a high level of competence. These improvements in my everyday lifestyle have constructed the ability to set goals and achieve what was once unattainable. Not only does this program motivate you to improve yourself, but to involve yourself in the community. Myself, alongside many other Junior Frontiers, annually volunteer to help out our peers. Although its aim is to help others, it improves your social skills and ability to build relations with others. My goal is to utilize this skill set and become a midwife, majoring in nursing. Colleges I'm interested in are Hamilton, SUNY Stony Brook, and St. Lawrence. The Junior Frontiers has provided me with numerous resources guiding me towards my future. I appreciate everyone who has been a part or contributed in any way. We are always accepting new members and cannot urge you any less to stand with us and stand out.
Thank you, Adriana. I would now like to introduce to you the president of the Syracuse chapter of the Junior Frontiers of the Mohawk Valley, Mr. Isaiah Mitchell.
Hello, my name is Isaiah Mitchell. I am a senior at Janesville DeWitt High School. I have attended the Junior Frontiers since I was in 5th grade, and I am currently the president of the Syracuse chapter of the Junior Frontiers. I would like to start by welcoming all the viewers on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for taking your valuable time out of your day to watch our annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. luncheon celebration. While it may be virtual, I am so glad to be able to tell you about this wonderful program and the way it has transformed my life. Now, I would like to start by taking you back to the fall of my sophomore year, where I found myself stranded in O'Hare Airport with my dad and 10 bags of luggage. Once finally being reunited with Mr. Rashid, after many hours, we would board a plane to Cape Town, South Africa. When we arrived, little did I know, we would be greeted by the Congolese ambassador to South Africa, Bene Mpoko. This led to a one-on-one conversation with him about each other's life experiences. Now you must be thinking, okay, cool, what's the point of this? But bear with me. The next 2 weeks would be some of the most formative and life-changing moments of my life. We were sitting at the top of Tabletop Mountain, which is a very huge tourist attraction in Cape Town. Mr. Rashid, my dad, and I were resting our aching backs leaning on a short wall. At the time, I didn't know exactly what my life would have in store for me, but I knew I was interested in studying law. I remember asking Mr. Rashid if there were any careers that involved traveling the world. It was this seemingly forgettable moment where I discovered the career path of international relations. This was the first time I began thinking about careers that would satisfy my newfound yearning to experience other cultures and see new things around the world. The things I saw on this trip were so unreal and breathtaking, it was like a dream. On this trip, we would visit the consulate, parliament, go on a safari, go four-wheeling through a vineyard, try so many new foods, and so much more. It seems like the vacation of a lifetime, right? But no, it was so much more than that. I learned so much about South Africa that no regular tourist would experience. We met so many influential figures and people in South Africa, and we even got to meet students at a local school. All of this was made possible by Mr. Rashid and the Junior Frontiers, and for that, I would like to thank you and everyone else in the program for providing so much for me. I genuinely wouldn't be the same person without that experience offered through this program. Now, as a senior, I have completed the college application process and am waiting to hear back from them. Keeping with my dreams, I have applied to the International Relations major at all of these institutions. I have already received acceptances into 3 of the 10 colleges I applied to, SUNY Buffalo, Seton Hall, and Morehouse, and was offered a sizable merit-based scholarship at one. I am so blessed to be a part of the Junior Frontiers as it has helped shape my life in so many ways. Having been a part of the program for what seems like forever now, I have been in the unique position where I have gotten to watch so many of our current alumni grow up and become the brilliant young minds they are today. Every year attending the Junior Frontiers banquet, I have watched seniors reap the rewards of their years and years of hard work. Hearing about the opportunities and full rides they've gotten from various colleges has been eye-opening. In the eyes of my 10-year-old self, though, I was so far away from being like them, so I was still absolutely appalled by the fact that I was being forced to go to these meetings with my older sister. My thoughts would lead me to places where I'd say, how could these people expect me to stand up and speak out in front of so many people? Yet, I still went every other Monday and endured. Once I finally got to high school, I slowly started to see the benefits of the program, and I realized maybe my parents weren't just out to torture me. I honestly wish everyone had access to this wonderful program. The Junior Frontiers gives access to rare opportunities to so many students of color, from the HBCU tours and the Ivy League, SAT prep, tutoring, speakers in our meetings, or even just the special events available to everyone. The Junior Frontiers has so many resources anyone can take advantage of. Even just the ability to be around like-minded people of color who prioritize their education is an amazing thing in itself. The Junior Frontiers organization has also helped me develop into a better student, public speaker, and is actively helping me achieve success. For anyone thinking of attending, I would 100% recommend this program. You will be welcomed with open arms by our amazing co-directors and parent volunteers. You will begin a journey that might just take you to heights or places, even like Tabletop Mountain, or someplace else that you could have never in your wildest dreams imagined. Once again, I would like to thank you for your time and tuning in today for our Martin Luther King Jr. event. I hope you enjoy the rest of the program.
And now I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Jawad Rashid, who's going to introduce the Scholastic Awards.
Good afternoon. My name is Jawad Rashid, and I am the chairman of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Achievement Award for the year 2022. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of our student scholars, and I have the pleasure of introducing them to you. Our first scholar is Adriana Cieslak. Adriana is a senior at Thomas R. Proctor High School, where she is maintaining a 3.6 GPA. She is very active as an athlete in track, and she is very active in gymnastics. Adriana is the current president of our local Utica Rome chapter of the Junior Frontiers of the Mohawk Valley, and she is a very astute leader. I give to you now Adriana Cieslak.
To be chosen to receive this award is an honor. Thank you to the Junior Frontiers who have brought this opportunity to me and allowed me to be nominated for this award. I'm incredibly grateful to the directors, alumni, and current members who have impacted my life, leading me to this moment. When I first started coming to meetings 5 years ago, I never imagined I would be president or a leader or receiving an award with such high esteem. I've always looked up to and admired previous Frontiers, and I'm amazed to see that I now have the principles that allowed so many to become great. As powerful as the Junior Frontiers are, I stand with them and say, I am president of the Junior Frontiers Utica Rome chapter. I will stand up and stand out in every way attainable and strive to be the resource that allows another to be nominated for this award in the year to come.
Our next student for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Achievement Award is Ms. Tajane Miller. Ms. Tajane Miller is a senior at Thomas R. Proctor High School. She has taken honor courses, she has taken AP course, and she carries a 3.6 GPA. Tajane is a very gifted writer, a very gifted reader, and she carries the hope of a lot of people in our community who know the importance of having teachers and students who want to be teachers, as that is her ultimate goal. Tajane came to us a very shy young lady and has blossomed into a very independent and vigorously academic student. I give to you now Ms. Tajane Miller.
Hello, my name is Tajane Henderson Miller, and I'm extremely grateful to have been considered for, let alone received, the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Academic Achievement Award. I'm 17 years old and have lived in Utica, New York my whole life, having grown up mainly in Cornhill, raised by my father and grandmother. I'm a senior at Thomas R. Proctor High School, and I'm part of many student-based organizations. In Future Business Leader America, I've been serving as president for the last 2 school years, and in my first year I was treasurer. I'm also a member of the drama club and have had a blast playing servant number 2 in the fall play. I can be found in the art room most Tuesday afternoons for our club or in the library almost any day during school hours as well as Thursday afternoons. I'm also well known among my teachers for my academic standing and personality, and hopefully one day we may become colleagues as I am planning on teaching English education. I've always wanted to find a way to give back to the community and to help people, and some of my teachers have inspired me in ways that made me come to the conclusion that through helping educate and guide our future generations, I can do so. Thankfully, through my grandfather's wife, Miss Eunice Elliott Jefferson, I found the Mohawk Valley Junior Frontiers, and ever since it's been as if I had a second family. Through the guidance of Mr. Rashid and the co-directors, I've already been accepted into 4 of the colleges on my list. They have always been a shoulder to lean on when I need extra support, and even if I'm a bit withdrawn, I've always felt welcome. They helped me gradually change from the shy girl who was scared of the idea of speaking my mind to this person who can get up and properly introduce myself and hold my head up properly and say, "Yes, I am here," and do so confidently and with a smile, even if it is a bit on the quiet side at times. I'm working on it daily, and there is always room for personal development and a boost in self-esteem. I hope even during my college life to work with all the branches of the frontiers to change the world one blessing at a time, whether it be to another student in my position or to any of the families out there who we help through our various acts of volunteerism. I'd like to take this time now to thank everyone for coming to witness such a prestigious event. I would like to thank my father for always pushing me to grow and work hard, as well as to thank the Mohawk Valley Frontiers for this opportunity and for the privilege that has been bestowed upon me.
Next, I have the privilege of introducing you to Ms. Glenvalise Perez, another 2022 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Achievement Award winner. Glenvalise has been with the Junior Frontiers since she's been in 5th or 6th grade. She has blossomed into a true scholar and academician. She carries a GPA of over 3.9 in her core STEM classes and is ranked in the top 10% of her graduating class at Whitesboro High School. Glenvalise is on track to graduate with an Advanced Regents Diploma with honors. She is truly the epitome of a student who have realized her potential and is reaching for each and every opportunity that life has to offer her. I give to you Ms. Glenvalise Perez.
Hello, my name is Glenvalise Perez. I attend Whitesboro High School and I am in 12th grade. I have been a member of the Junior Frontiers since I was in 8th grade. Being a part of the Junior Frontiers has aided me on my journey to achieve both my academic and personal goals. Through the Junior Frontiers, I have practiced techniques to study efficiently, developed time management skills, and prepared for college. Most importantly, I have learned the value of education and how to be the best student I can be. I have always been on the quiet side, but becoming a Junior Frontier allowed me to develop a higher level of confidence and self-esteem. Additionally, as a Junior Frontier, I have had support and resources that have motivated me to strive to complete my goals in the future, and I am so grateful to have received the opportunity to join the program. Although I am not entirely sure yet about the exact path I want to take professionally, I hope to take advantage of all that I have learned as a junior frontier to pursue a career in the STEM field, as well as follow my passion for mathematics and the humanities. I aspire to be able to help others in some way like the Junior Frontiers has helped me. Thank you so much.
Okay, last but not least, I have the privilege and honor of introducing you to Ms. Naya Lasley. Naya is a senior at Waterville Senior High School. She has maintained a 3.89 GPA and is ranked 6th in her graduating class. She's an honor roll student, has taken over 10 AP courses and counting. Naya is specializing in the STEM area and is relentless in her love, devotion, and passion for STEM-related research and education. Naya is our current Vice President of the Junior Frontiers of the Mohawk Valley and has been with us for a number of years. She's a very astute robotic student and instructor and has excelled in robotics and STEM-related activities. I give to you with an abundance of pleasure, Ms. Naya Lasley.
Hello, everyone. I've grown up in a small town called Oriskany Falls, and most of you probably have never heard of it, nor the school I attend, Waterville Junior Senior High School. Through living here, I have always felt like an underdog and felt like I would never be able to achieve my dreams. For as long as I can remember, I have always wanted to do something in the medical field, but the exact occupation wasn't finalized until last year. I aspire to become a biomedical engineer and specialize in immunology and tissue engineering. For some of you, that might sound intimidating, but to me, that sounds amazing. The ability to manipulate body systems and 3D print organs fascinates me. I want to prove that no matter where you come from, you can become whoever you want. I want to become Dr. Naya Lasley, the research scientist. I would like to say thank you to the Junior Frontiers for awarding me the Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Achievement Award. They've helped me bolster my confidence, community service, have helped me explore new academic prospects, and have shown me colleges and professions that I never would have thought I would be able to achieve. They've given me the opportunity to teach robotics and help introduce others into a realm of possibilities that they might not have even known was available. Through the Junior Frontiers, I was able to connect with so many more people that were going through similar experiences as myself when I thought I was the only one. And I have made a lot of new friends through this experience. I appreciate all that the Mohawk Valley Junior Frontiers has offered me, and I hope that I will be able to return the favor. I would like to take this time to thank all of the people that have helped shape me into the person I am today, because without them, I would not be standing here today. They have helped me become someone I am proud to be. My Aunt Susan Murray has helped me get a better grasp of mathematical concepts, allowing me to further my education and help me reach my goals. My mom has instilled in me a compassionate nature, and my dad has instilled in me persistence and determination. My brother taught me that the path in front of you is not the one you need to walk. You make your life. It doesn't make you. My sisters have taught me that it's okay to take a break and have fun. Don't let life pass you by. Thank you to all of those who have played a role in honoring me with this award. Before I leave here today, I would like to leave you all with a quote that resonates with me. We must use time creatively in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Our guest speaker this afternoon is a young lady that we are extremely proud of. Ms. Hilda Jordan came to us as a diamond in the rough, but after our guidance and her hard work, she comes to you as one of our crown jewels. Please give a warm welcome to one of the area's rising stars, Ms. Hilda Jordan.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hilda M. Jordan, and I am so excited and grateful to be sharing this digital space with you all. Thank you first and foremost to the Mohawk Valley Frontiers organization for the distinct honor of serving as a keynote speaker for the 38th annual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. recognition event. The Mohawk Valley Frontiers has a unique tradition of providing necessary services to the most disadvantaged communities of our area that has touched every single one of us watching this video in one way or another. During a global pandemic, I've witnessed the Frontiers organization provide families and community members with PPE equipment, vaccination information and coordination, food and material support, and transportation. They have transitioned to a digital and online platform to continue serving communities in Utica, Rome, Syracuse, and Buffalo, all because service is their motto. I first joined the Frontiers organization as a Junior Frontiers member in high school. At the age of 14, I was super excited and driven to earn a spot at Harvard University. However, as the daughter of a single mother who immigrated from the Dominican Republic and drove buses to get us through the Utica City School District and also to support relatives in the Dominican Republic, I didn't quite know what my options were, and quite frankly, my odds looked very bleak. However, from the age of 14, the Junior Frontiers provided me with a roadmap and a village of support to graduate salutatorian of Proctor High School, a 3-sport varsity athlete, a student leader, and a fundraising legend with the record $10,000 raised in 4 days to go to the Harvard Summer School program. Today, I am a cum laude graduate of Harvard University, a local diversity and equity consultant with Access Global Groups, and the president of the Junior Frontiers Alumni Impact Collective, all because of the services that the Frontiers organization and the Junior Frontiers were able to provide for me. The Junior Frontiers Alumni Impact Collective is the newest branch of the Frontiers organization dedicated to developing capable, diverse, and impactful leadership in the Mohawk Valley through increased alumni community engagement, college student support, professional development, and civic responsibility. We truly believe and understand that service is not just our motto, but it is our calling and it is our duty, especially when taken in light of Dr. King's legacy. Today, I want to address Dr. King's true legacy of hope and how I believe his words can guide the complexity of our path forward towards a more equitable and just future. In order to do that, I first want to engage with Dr. King beyond the legend and the politically correct philosophy that we've been taught and move into the radical prophetic words of Dr. King, who was deeply and divinely unsatisfied with America's greatest 3 evils, which he called racism, hypermaterialism, and militarism, which were all connected. I will then continue on to Dr. King's revolution of values that he thinks can move us forward, which are based in love, and how they can and should be shaping our work today. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was once called the most notorious liar in the country by the head of the FBI. He was put on watch lists and hunted like many Black Lives Matter activists today for telling the truth. In his I Have a Dream speech, which is canonized as the dream for racial equity and racial justice moving forward, Dr. King identifies the failed democratic project of the United States because of racism's violation of Black people's unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In that speech, Dr. King denounces America for issuing Black people an insufficient check to the vaults of opportunity and justice. In that speech, Dr. King divulges how we, Black people and non-Black people alike, can never be satisfied as long as police brutality, economic immobility, historical erasure, and political despair are perpetuated by the greatest purveyor of violence in the world, which he believed was the American government. During his last address as the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, Where Do We Go From Here?, Dr. King incited the whole country to ask questions about the whole society. Questioning the whole society meant coming to see that the problem of racism, the problem of economic exploitation, and the problem of war are all tied together. In that speech, Dr. King asks, why are there 40 million poor people in America as automation creates more wealth than before? Why are there young people being taught to hate themselves or consider themselves evil in our public education? Why are there communities of people dying at higher rates on account of poverty and lack of health care and safe living conditions? Why does a country that values freedom and justice cut programs of human rights and social support to increase funding of militarization of local police and foreign occupations? These are all questions Dr. King asked of the community then, and his legacy asks us to consider now. Why is it? For Dr. King, the answer was spiritual death and the thingifying of a person. You see, Dr. King believed that the perils of our American society, racism, hypermaterialism that leads to poverty and economic inequality, as well as militarism, were all rooted in our thing-oriented commodification of people. You see, Dr. King believed that we were unable to regard each other with the full human moral dignity and empathy that is required for collaboration and progress and for a truly democratic country. Dr. King, however, was not given up to despair when he talked about this issue. Instead, he found hope. Hope for Dr. King was in the promise of living in a person-centered society. Hope for Dr. King was not a feeling, it was not a thought, it was a verb. It was an act of change. It was the realization of taking these different values and putting them into action in the way that he organized, the way that he spoke, the way that communities came together and thought about the future. Dr. King quantified this hope as the revolution of values. He gave us a revolution of values that we can hold on to today and really work to employ. This revolution of values calls each of us to develop a hope in love of truth, love of self, and a love of others. This kind of love is not a feeling or a mere sentimentality. It's agape love, love of the highest order. Love as an action and a commitment of power to do what our American ideals require, to create a society where each has the freedom to pursue life, liberty, and happiness, and is actually judged by the content of their character. There are 4 key kinds of love that Dr. King gives us that we need to be able to enact and think through to really engage with his legacy. The first is a love of truth. A revolution of values requires an honest engagement with the conditions and suffering of those that are different from us, to recognize the opportunity for similarities, to recognize how they're interrelated, and seize the opportunities for collaborations and coalition building. The love of truth requires that we have an honest recognition of how our futures and livelihoods are codependent and co-constructed. The second is a love of self. Dr. King commits each of us to a personal healing that raises our self-esteem and asks us to engage with the spirit of excellence, a spirit that welcomes us to be the best moral and social participants we can be in the face of whatever adversity or negative stereotypes plague us. This is not an exercise in vanity, but one that denounces any shame associated with who we are, that rejects hatred and excavates human dignity to the level of service. The third is a love for others. Dr. King refers to this as a dangerous unselfishness that shifts the questions of service from what can I do to help others, and maybe what will be the cost to me, to what will happen if I don't? What will happen if I am not the one that helps my peer? This unconditional love of others is predicated not on a likability, but rather on a mutual respect and moral consideration of human dignity that asks each of us to move beyond our political fears or apathy or even hate to a love that recognizes each of us and the value that we have in creating our current world. The fourth is the commitment of love. Love is a force that calls us to constantly confront unfairness, to acknowledge harm, and to learn how to respect one another in moral, material, and political forms. According to Dr. King, love requires us to see even our political enemies as moral equals because they are humans. Love as a commitment requires us to shift the social and economic powers so that we can all engage in a democracy. Dr. King wrote, "Love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power without love is reckless and abusive. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love." As we enter our third pandemic year in a growing economic crisis and mounting political pressure to develop measurable plans of progress and equity, I urge you each to consider what Dr. King's revolution of people-centered values would look like in our communities, in our lives, and in our loves. I urge you to question, what is it that our different communities, seen and unseen, need, and why? I urge you to ask whether your group is thinking and engaging with the people it's trying to serve or just for them. I ask you to question whether the process you are using is filled with the hope, which is the actual force of change you hope to actualize. I hope in the way that Dr. King did, that we can see that our path forward is necessarily multi-generational, multiracial, multi-gendered, accessible, class-centered, and communal. I hope we can understand, as Audre Lorde wrote in Learning from the 60s, that our hope must be militant and that it means doing the unromantic and tedious work of forging meaningful coalitions. I hope it means knowing that coalition, like unity, means the coming together of our whole selves as actualized human beings, focused and believing, not as fragmented, professional, politically correct counterparts. I hope we realize that the love of self, the love of others, the love of truth, and the commitment to pursuing all of those loves leads us to a more empowering, a more holistic, and a more accessible dream that we can all participate and design together. Thank you. I would now like to take a moment to introduce Samantha Tavares, who works as the Community Development Chair of the Junior Frontiers Alumni Impact Collective.
Hello and happy Martin Luther King Day, everyone. My name is Samantha Tavares, and I serve as a Junior Frontiers Alumni Impact Collective Community Empowerment Chair. The Junior Frontiers Alumni Impact Collective was launched just last year in 2021 with the collective vision to develop and empower capable, diverse, and impactful leadership right here in our own communities. As a Frontiers organization, we strive to uplift, strengthen, and promote the success of our community within the Mohawk Valley by facilitating professional development, enacting civic responsibility, and strategically addressing issues. Within our first year, we've built an archive of Junior Frontiers alumni stories, starting with an online database for minority-owned businesses right here in Central New York, and held mentoring conversations with high school students in Utica. Notably, in December, we held our first Utica Youth Empowerment Summit, which provided more than 75 students with stipends, dinner, mentorship conversations, and exposure to the local community partners, leaders, and employers. Please take a moment to check us out on our website, jfaic.org. We hope to continue to pay it forward and work with more of you within the next year. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our time together is coming to an end. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors and donors. Without your generosity, we would not be able to offer the programs that we provide throughout the year. This pandemic has caused us to shift and pivot in order to continue our cause, but it has also taught us to work together without being together. Please take a few minutes to visit our website Thanks for celebrating this day with us, and we look forward to working with you throughout the year.